There is a rhythm beyond the sound of the ticking clock, a calendar more ancient than any written by man, a timeline drawn not on paper or screens, but etched in eternity. It is the timeline of God, and when He speaks, when He declares a moment, when He appoints a season, it is not arbitrary, not vague, and never late. Divine timing is not man's timing. And to understand the moves of heaven, one must step out of the frantic rhythm of earth and into the quiet beat of eternity. From the beginning, the Creator moved not in haste, but in perfect measure. 6 days He formed, and on the seventh He rested, not because He needed rest, but because He was revealing the pattern of sacred time. There is a purpose to every pause, a divine reason for every delay. To the eye of man it may seem late, but to the purposes of heaven it is right on time. There is a danger when we begin to impose our timelines upon God. When we say, if not now, then when, or why hasn't it come yet, we forget that the one who authors time stands outside of it. To Him 1,000 years is as a day, and a day as 1,000 years. And yet He is never random. The same God who numbered the hairs on your head has numbered the moments of your destiny. Every breath has meaning. Every season has purpose. And every delay is not denial, it is design. Look back and you'll see the pattern. Abraham was promised a son, but years passed in silence. Sarah laughed, but God was not shaken. The child came not when they demanded it, but when the appointed time arrived. Joseph dreamed of rule, but found himself in a pit, then a prison. His vision was not denied, it was deferred for the sake of a greater glory. And when Pharaoh called for him, it was not a second too early, not a moment too late. He was released in the fullness of time. The sea did not part when Israel first stood at its edge. It parted when the time was fulfilled. The fire did not fall at Elijah's first word. It fell when the altar was soaked, the hearts prepared, and the prophets silenced. The Messiah did not come when the people first cried for Him, but in the fullness of time He was born of a virgin, laid in a manger, and the heavens declared it so. Why? Because divine timing is not reactive, it is prophetic. It does not respond to circumstance, it orchestrates it. It is not bound by panic or pressure or political winds. It is tied to the heartbeat of heaven, which beats steadily, eternally, with unwavering faithfulness. And so when God says, it is planned for the end of April, it is not a guess, not a prediction, it is a decree. A divine appointment written in the scroll of your destiny before you were even formed. It is not for you to rush, not for you to fear, not for you to explain, it is for you to believe. Do not measure God by the clock on your wall. Do not measure His promises by what you see with your eyes. For His ways are not your ways, and His thoughts are not your thoughts. He sees the beginning from the end and everything in between. He is the God who moves stars into alignment, who holds back armies until the moment of release, who hides His chosen in obscurity until the hour of unveiling. When He waits, it is mercy. When He delays, it is love. When He holds back, it is not because He has forgotten, but because He is setting the stage. The curtain does not rise until the actors are ready, until the crowd is seated, until the moment is perfect. And when it does, the glory that follows will leave no room for doubt. So if you find yourself in the in-between, in the place of waiting, in the silence of the not yet, do not despair. You are not forgotten. You are not being punished. You are being prepared. You are being aligned. You are being refined not for just any moment, but for a divine one. You are being positioned not for man's approval, but for heaven's release. Every second between now and the appointed time is a thread in the tapestry of God's plan. The people you meet, the doors that open, the ones that close, the tears you cry in secret, the prayers you whisper in the dark, they are all part of it. Nothing is wasted, not even the silence, not even the stillness. For in the unseen, the seed is growing. In the hidden, the oil is forming. In the quiet, the ground is shifting. Trust the one who knows the end from the beginning. Trust the one who timed your birth to the exact moment in history for which you were born. Trust the one who numbers your days and yet fills them with eternity. He is not late. He is not confused. He is not overwhelmed. The one who set the stars in place, who commands the morning to rise, who orders the tides and tells the wind when to blow, that same one holds your life in His hands. And when He says, The time is near. You can be sure that nothing in heaven or on earth can stop what is coming. So lift your eyes. Take heart. Do not be shaken by the calendar or the news or the voices around you. Stand firm in the knowledge that the timing of God is perfect. And when it comes to pass, when it unfolds just as He said, you will see that the wait was worth it, the silence was sacred, and the end of April was not just a date, it was destiny. Let the world rush. Let others run ahead. You, beloved, walk in step with eternity. Walk in the rhythm of the one who holds all time in His hands. For when He speaks a time, the earth must bow, the storm must still, and all things must align. Because divine timing is never early, never late, only perfect. And it is coming, it is written, it is sealed, and it will be done. There is a mystery in the waiting, a holy tension, a sacred stillness. To the world, waiting feels like weakness, like something has gone wrong, like the promise has failed or the dream has died. But in the economy of heaven, waiting is never empty. It is not a void, not a pause button on life. Waiting is the womb of the miracle. Every miracle that has ever walked upon this earth was once hidden. Every answered prayer was first a silent cry. Every breakthrough was first buried under layers of time and trial. The womb is a place of covering, of darkness, of invisibility. No one sees what is growing there. No one hears the heartbeat except the one who gave it. And yet, though hidden, it is the place where life begins. The God who formed the universe does not rush. He is not hurried by anxiety or pressured by your timeline. When He said, "Let there be light," He could have spoken the entire cosmos into being in a single breath. But He didn't. He created day by day, step by step, process by process. Why? Because the process matters. Because in the slow unfolding, we learn to see the divine hand in every layer, every breath, every pause. You may find yourself in that place right now, the in-between. The place where the promise has been spoken but not yet fulfilled. The place where you carry something inside of you that no one else can see, no one else can confirm. It is sacred ground. It is the womb of the miracle. The womb is a place of preparation. Before the miracle can be revealed, it must be formed. Before the dream can breathe, it must be structured. Before the answer can rise, it must be rooted. And so you wait, you wonder, you pray, and though everything around you seems still, something is happening within, something eternal, something divine. It was in the waiting that Abraham became the father of nations. Not in the moment of Isaac's birth, but in the long years of barrenness when the stars seemed like mockery and the sand slipped through his fingers. It was in the waiting that Joseph became a man of wisdom, not in Pharaoh's court, but in the prison cell where his dream seemed buried. It was in the waiting that David's heart was forged not on the throne, but in the caves in the wilderness, in the fleeing from Saul. And it was in the waiting that Mary carried the Messiah. Conceived by the Holy Spirit, growing in silence and seclusion, far from the noise of men, but all of heaven held its breath. The waiting is not punishment, it is preparation. It is the hand of the potter forming the clay, shaping it, pressing it, not to break it, but to make it worthy of the glory it will carry. And when you feel like nothing is moving, that is often the moment when the deepest transformation is taking place. Because waiting is not about the delay of events, it is about the deepening of faith. It is where trust is tested, where belief is purified, where your foundation is made unshakable. The enemy wants you to despise the waiting. He wants you to curse it, rush it, abandon it. But God wants you to embrace it, to see it not as a detour, but as destiny in disguise. Every miracle is born in mystery, and every mystery requires time. The tree does not bloom the moment the seed is planted. The rose does not open at the first touch of spring. There is a sacred sequence to life, to growth, to becoming. And those who learn to wait not with bitterness, but with expectancy will see what others miss. There is power in quiet endurance. There is fire in patient faith. There is glory in the soul that says, even though I do not see it, I believe. Even though I do not feel it, I trust. Even though I do not understand it, I yield. That kind of waiting is not passive. It is fierce. It is the waiting of the warrior who knows the battle is won in stillness before the first sword is drawn. It is the waiting of the mother who feels the kick in her belly long before the cry fills the room. The miracle is not just coming, it is already alive within you, already forming, already growing. You are not waiting for something outside to change, you are being changed. And when the time is right, when the fullness has come, when heaven opens the door, you will give birth to what God has placed in you. And it will not be small, it will not be fragile. It will carry the weight of purpose, the fire of destiny, the breath of God Himself. Do not rush it. Do not force it. Do not panic when others move ahead. Your journey is not theirs. Your promise is not theirs. Your womb carries a different miracle, and only the one who planted it knows the hour of its unveiling. So hold on. Breathe deep. Trust the process. The waiting may feel long, but it is not wasted. It is holy. It is heaven's workshop. It is the place where the miracle receives its wings. And when it comes, it will not be late. It will come bursting forth in power and in purpose. You will look back and know every tear was a watering of the seed, every prayer was a laying of the foundation, every silent night was a symphony of heaven preparing the stage. Because God is never late. He is never absent. He is never uncertain. And He is never indifferent to the cry of your heart. If He spoke it, He will bring it to pass. If He planted it, He will cause it to grow. If He promised it, He will fulfill it. And the waiting, the sacred, painful, glorious waiting, will become the womb of the miracle you were born to carry. So lift your eyes. Do not fear the stillness. Do not despise the delay. For even now, something eternal is being born in you. And when it arrives, the world will see what heaven already knew. The waiting was never empty, it was everything. There are those who wait for the prophetic to come as a sudden flame, to fall like lightning, to appear without warning in the thunderclap of revelation. But the ways of heaven are not random. The move of God does not fall upon chaos without first calling it into order. And the word of the Lord, the voice of the prophetic, does not rest upon the unprepared. For preparation is what unlocks the prophetic. Before the ark was filled with life, it had to be built. Long before a drop of rain fell, Noah was commanded to gather wood, to measure cubits, to seal with pitch. He prepared not knowing the exact day, not seeing the storm, not hearing the thunder. But he prepared because the word had gone forth. And it was the preparation, the obedience in the unseen, that made him ready when the floodgates opened. There is a mystery here, a law woven into the fabric of divine movement, that God speaks, but He looks for the one who will ready the room. The prophet hears the whisper, but the miracle waits for the vessel to be shaped. The promise may be spoken, but it will not land where there is no altar. If Elijah had not rebuilt the altar on Mount Carmel, the fire would not have fallen. The fire answers the prepared. And so when you are told a moment is coming, when the Spirit whispers that it is planned for the end of April, that word is not just information, it is invitation, it is the call to prepare. It is the trumpet sound not of a finished thing, but of a coming one. And the preparation is the proof that you believe. Faith is not only seen in the cry, it is seen in the readiness. You can cry out for the rain, but do you dig the trenches? Before the Lord moved in the desert, Israel had to gather manna. Before the priests stepped into the Jordan, they had to carry the ark. Before the walls of Jericho fell, they had to march in silence. There is always a movement before the miracle. And that movement is preparation. Not frantic, not in fear, but in faith. The prophetic is not only a word you receive, it is a realm you enter, and realms are not entered by chance, but by consecration. The wise virgins in the parable were not wise because they believed the bridegroom would come. They were wise because they brought oil. The foolish believed too, but their lamps were empty. They had not prepared. And when the moment came, they missed it. Not because they didn't hear, but because they didn't prepare. So the question is not, what has God said? But how are you preparing? Are you making space in your heart? Are you clearing room in your house? Are you silencing the noise so you can hear the whisper? Are you living like one who expects a visitation? For He does not pour new wine into old wineskins. The wineskin must be made ready. It must be renewed, stretched, softened, and so must you. The prophets of old did not just speak, they lived. Ezekiel lay on his side. Hosea took a wife in obedience. Jeremiah wept and watched. Their lives were altars, their days preparation for the word they carried. The prophetic is weighty. It does not rest lightly. It comes with fire, with shaking, with glory. And for it to be revealed in your life, there must be structure, discipline, prayer, purity, expectation. The enemy knows this. That's why he attacks preparation. He will try to delay you, distract you, discourage you. He will whisper, "It doesn't matter. Nothing is coming." Why prepare? He wants you to sleep through the dawn. But preparation is warfare. It is a declaration that you will be found ready when the Lord walks by, that your altar will be built, that your oil will be full, that your heart will be set. And preparation is not only about action, it is about alignment. You can be busy and not prepared. You can be active and not aligned. True preparation starts in the Spirit. It is a turning of your face toward the wind before it begins to blow. It is a holy tension and inner alertness, a stretching of the soul toward the coming day. It is not about having all the answers. It is about saying yes before you know what the assignment is. When Moses stood before the burning bush, he was told to take off his sandals. Why? Because preparation is not always about building, it is also about surrender, about removing the thing that separates you from holy ground, about standing bare before the fire. You cannot walk into a prophetic moment wearing the shoes of yesterday's journey. You must stand new, open, ready. And this is the call now. If it is all planned, if heaven has marked the time, then you must mark your life. Clean the rooms of your heart. Set your face like flint. Fast if you must. Pray deeper than before. Read the words of promise until they burn. Speak life over what looks barren. Bless what hasn't yet bloomed. And do it not out of fear, but out of holy anticipation, like one who has heard the distant trumpet, like one who sees the cloud the size of a man's hand. You may not know what the moment will bring. You may not see the full picture, but you know the time has been spoken. You know the hour is drawing near, and that is enough. You do not need to understand the plan to honor the planner. You do not need to see the miracle to build the altar. You do not need to hold the fire to gather the wood. The prophetic is not for the passive. It is for those who prepare, for those who live like God's word is true, for those who make ready not just their hands, but their hearts, for those who clear the noise, who silence the flesh, who sharpen the spirit, for those who know that when the trumpet sounds, when the Spirit moves, when the appointed time comes, they will be found ready. So prepare, even now. Prepare the way of the Lord in your life. Let your life be the upper room. Let your house be the altar. Let your steps be the footsteps of faith. And when the moment comes, when the wind shifts, when the heavens open, you will not be surprised. You will be ready, because preparation unlocks the prophetic, and the ones who prepare are the ones who will see.